Well, certainly by that time, the town of Niagara-on-the-Lake was a thriving tourist destination in a lot of ways, but it still had a very old town kind of feeling to it. So I ended up living, first I boarded with a family on Center Street, a lovely couple who took in boarders, so I rented a room from them. And then I did that for a year, and then I moved on to Shakespeare, where I rented a cottage on Shakespeare. And at that time, that Chautauqua Circle area was still very much cottage feeling. There was not a lot of permanent residents, even still in '86, that made that area their permanent home. So there were a lot of seasonal renters, So when, in the wintertime, you'd feel like you were the only child living on the street kind of thing, and then it would really start to liven up as spring came and the cottagers arrived kind of thing. Now, of course, there's a lot more permanent homes and bigger homes and that, but at the time there was still a lot of really small cottages. But then I moved in, I think it was 1988, onto the main street here in Niagara-on-the-Lake. So I lived beside the Royal George Theatre, which I understand at one time was, so right now at the time we called it the Shaw, well no, it was before the Shaw Shop, so it was an apartment, but it was, the front of it used to be a little barber shop, and then the back was where the family of the barber lived. So if you're standing in front of the Royal George, it's the building to the right of it. And so I lived in there, which was a gorgeous apartment, had been fixed up with beautiful hardwood floors and a lovely little kitchen and 2 bedrooms and a bathroom and a lovely side porch. So now, when the Shaw Festival took over that space to turn it into our Shaw Shop, they blew out the wall between the front and the back. They filled in the side porch. The 2 bedrooms in the back became storage rooms. There still is a bathroom, but the kitchen was kind of blown out and made into a little book nook kind of thing. And now even that wall is gone, so it's just a big open store now. But I lived on the main street. Across the street from me was, I believe, a warehouse for Greaves Jam, which is now the Epicurean. And if you're standing then looking across the street, if you're standing in front of the Royal George, to the left of what is now the Epicurean, which is now the Shaw Cafe, that was an old gas station. And do you remember that? Yeah. So that was an old gas station. And around that time, there was a movie company that was going to put on a movie by John Travolta was going to be the star of that movie. So they kind of fixed up that gas station a little bit because they were going to use it on the set. So they fixed it up for the movie and obviously left it the way they fixed it, not the way they found it, but the way they fixed it, which was kind of interesting. And I think at the time when I moved there in '86, it was a functioning gas station, but by '88 it wasn't. It was done by then. So moving down the street, of course, the Prince of Wales had taken over a lot of those stores by a lot of those smaller buildings, and that whole thing was part of the Prince of Wales Hotel. But then where the Shaw Cafe, or not the Shaw Cafe, the Shaw Hotel is now, there's that little strip mall beside it and then a lot there. But there was a gas station there too. And that same movie company fixed that one up as well, from what I recall. So, having these industries come into town and do certain things, like the Twilight Zone movie that fixed up the gazebo or built that gazebo, that is a permanent fixture in this town now that wasn't there in prior to 1980. But I can't tell you how many people take their wedding pictures there now and everything. So that sort of thing has been, I think, a really great thing for the town. That some people find it, odd that there's building going on, but now look at the gazebo and what a permanent fixture it is. So it's a landmark in this town, but it only dates back to 1980 or something like that. So, but it's a good thing.